Don't forget to like and subscribe.
It's Jim Keller, everybody. And welcome, everyone.
It is indeed Jim Keller.
Welcome to the Tech Poutine. George and I just happened to be in the same place at the same time.
Yeah.
Again. We have both been in town for Marvell Analyst Day.
Yep.
Which may be one of the topics today, depending on how many we get through. Because as I'm sure, if you've been attached in any way to the tech world, it's been a busy couple of weeks.
It's very busy, incredibly busy.
Oh, so some of it is just business, and some of it is deeply affecting certain parts of the consumer industry,
like RAM. Sorry, DRAM.
It's for those of you who don't know or don't follow me on Twitter, I've been on a little bit of a crusade recently.
I've been hearing about this for years.
Yes, it is much in the same way that people shouldn't use megahertz but mega transfers per second for a physical connection. My beef is people should call it DRAM when they mean DRAM.
Yes, because there are many RAMs in a system. Some of them are SRAM, some of them are DRAMs.
But George, everybody knows that when I say RAM, they know I mean sticks of memory.
Do I?
Well,
I mean, you can also add in SRAM. I mean, Intel's first product was an SRAM chip.
Yeah, but nobody cares about that. Nobody cares about it. This is the response I keep getting. My analogy was actually somebody put it slightly better than me, but my first analogy was, well, in a forest you have many types of tree: sycamore, yew, birch, oak. You can say sycamore tree and it still means tree. People understand it's still a tree, and then maybe they will attach the word sycamore to that particular type.
Yes.
And in the same way with memory, you have different types of memories.
Yes.
This one is a DRAM. This one is an SRAM. This one is a VRAM. This one is a,
So what you're saying is context is king and winner takes all?
Well, I'm saying it's educational, right? There's we're in the market, especially everybody on YouTube is we're trying to educate the audience.
Edutainment, I believe is.
Yeah, and so one critical point is just it adds to people's knowledge. It doesn't take away from anything, right?
Yes, but I have to remember that.
Or it's the people at Best Buy don't know or don't care the difference. Well, if they don't care, then do it.
Yeah.
Right? The whole it doesn't matter argument falls apart because clearly it does because you responded.
Yeah.
Or don't make me think harder. That's a you problem. The other analogy somebody put to me is we put many fluids in our car.
But this one is water for the radiator.
Or fuel for your engine.
Yeah.
Or is electricity a liquid? Or wiper fluid is not just water.
Is electricity a liquid?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can store electricity in liquid.
Yes.
Energy in liquid. Yeah.
So yeah, it's the if it doesn't take that much and it helps broaden understanding. My other argument is that everybody in the industry, when we go to conferences, when we go to trade shows, all the companies that we speak to, all the reps, all the users, HPC and whatever, everybody calls it DRAM.
What's funny is actually at the Marvell Analyst Day, they're talking about HBM, custom HBM DRAM and custom SRAM cells.
Yeah.
So if you just said RAM and RAM, it would get kind of confusing.
Yeah. It's and yeah, okay, that's a very specialized context, and it's almost in the if you're in a particular industry, you call it. Everybody in the industry calls it by one thing, but people not inside the industry call it something else. It's exposing a lack of knowledge.
Yes.
Right? It's like the people who come to the UK and buy Oxford University's hoodies, but never leave London because they think Oxford and London are the same place.
No.
Well,
that's like people thinking that technically, so like Cambridge is technically in Cambridge, not Boston, even though they're adjacent. Right?
Yeah, Boston University.
Well, yeah.
It's there's no point. There's no point delineating or just saying let's simplify it when we're literally talking about one letter, and it does help a lot of understanding.
Yeah.
Also means that I don't scratch my face off when I hear it. It's nails on a chalkboard sometimes. So yeah, which is just suffice to say, we're going to talk about some memory today. We're going to talk about some memory. We've got a lot of other things going on, some of which happened this morning, some of which happened yesterday. So let's get straight into it. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Tech Poutine, the weekly-ish podcast from George and I, where we talk about processors and silicon and how we teach special rocks to think in very special ways. We're called the Tech Poutine because my name is Ian and I run a channel called Tech Potato, and George runs a channel called Chips and Cheese. If you like chips and cheese, you should definitely check them out. Also, if we had a sponsor, here's where we might put it. We don't. However, we must thank the lovely company Tensordyne, who are letting us use their studio today. But we do accept and read super chats made by our listeners and watchers on the air, but only if they don't demonetize the channel. And I've got a feeling we're going to last a good couple of hours today just because there's a lot to get through.
There's a lot of news.
And we're going to get lunch at some point. It's going to come through. And then hopefully we'll get around to Q&A. But as always, first question is, how you doing, George?
Good-ish.
You've been Mr. Hobble this week, haven't you?
Yeah. Unfortunately, due to some health stuff, I have unfortunately I've been walking around with a cane because of some stuff.
So. Yeah. It's what would normally be a 10-minute walk is now an Uber ride. That's fine. So our first topic today is memory, and Micron are in the financial Q2, which is February, will stop selling products under the Crucial brand.
Wait, February is Q2 for Micron?
For their financial year, yes, because it's an offset year.
Yeah, I prefer calendar year equals financial year, or financial year equals calendar year.
Yeah, in the press release, it's highlighted fiscal Q2 brackets February.
At least they say that.
So for those of you who are unaware, there are for the most part 3 major memory manufacturers. Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron, and all of them have kind of house brands or sell stuff under their name, and then some of them also have consumer brands. And for Micron, that is always Crucial. And Crucial used to have an enthusiast brand called Ballistics.
Yes,
or Crucial Ballistics. It was a sub brand, and Ballistics went the way of the dodo. I want to say a couple of years ago.
My brain is saying roughly just after DDR5 started really hitting the market.
Okay. And it's because Micron and Crucial, they were very conservative. And they were never pushing the boat in terms of capacity, in terms of frequency, in terms of subtiming. So their whole thing was consistency.
So that's not quite true. At the tail end of DDR4, they were pushing to 5,000 megatransfers kits.
No, but it always took them a lot longer than other players in the industry.
Yeah,
that's what they told me. Their whole idea was they'll only do a speed, a frequency, a transfer rate, and a subtiming once they can guarantee sufficient supply and longevity. However, a good chunk of what they made was considered for a lot of people the standard if you're just talking about base JDEC specification.
Yeah. Because that's the thing about Crucial. It may not have been the best overclocking DRAM, but it hey, I corrected myself. But it very much was consistently decent.
Yes, yeah, and in terms of storage, the MX series SSDs, very price competitive as well. And often freely available. And the announcement is that Micron will no longer be selling any of its products under the Crucial brand. which a lot of people have taken to mean they're exiting the consumer business, which isn't true.
Yeah.
Direct to consumer, yes.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of mention about this of, oh, I've been using Crucial for years. The thing is, with open servers and you get Micron branded memory,
Yeah.
the enterprise stuff,
Yeah.
right? So
that's going nowhere.
That's going nowhere. However, the best way to look at this is look at it from a manufacturing perspective, right? These companies, they produce wafers off the line, just like a CPU does. And all the dies will be built the same, but some will clock higher, some will be, some will have higher leakage, some will have, they will last longer, and efficiency and all these different sorts of variables. And you end up with the wafers that are coming off the line fitting into a bell binning curve, basically. And the same thing is true with memory and storage. You get a binning curve, which means 10% of your dies do this, but 50% of your dies do this, and 30% of your dies do this. And that's not changing, right? Just because you drop a band doesn't mean that suddenly your yield mechanics change.
No.
At all. And the reason why we know a lot of this is because Samsung was quite vocal back, a few years ago, even pre-pandemic, saying we use the best dies in our stuff for our branded, and then we, it's like the top 30% of dies we use, and the other 70% we sell for other people to use, to other people to batch, for other people to bin, for other people to brand. So in Micron's case, and I'm just picking a number out of my out in the air here, all the chips that come off DRAM, NAND flash, if 50% are enterprise grade, right? That means they can be badged Micron, whatever, and go into servers. The other 50% aren't.
No.
And that's typically what was sold to consumers, right? But a good chunk of that business was sold to third-party memory and storage providers.
Such as Corsair,
G-Skill, Kingston. Yeah, some of them obviously had relationships with specific memory vendors and what have you. Well, the whole idea was that a lot of this, that it would go into the market for spot pricing. These wafers would be bought, binned, and then packaged. They weren't the best performing because the house brand obviously kept that for themselves most of the time, unless more was paid. With Micron, the memory that would have gone to Crucial that's still consumer grade
just goes to one of those third parties.
Just now gets sold to one of those third parties, which means now there's, you could say there's more supply for, again, G-Skill, Corsair, and everyone else. The matter that I think people didn't consider is that in my numbers just right now, I've said 50% was suitable for enterprise. Because of the demand metrics now, enterprise may be willing to, their minimum bar for entry may have been lowered.
Yes.
So now 60% of the memory from the wafers and the NAND flash may now be suitable for enterprise. It's not as resilient, or it may not be as fast, but enterprise is willing to accept that for their stuff. So there might be a reduced amount in the market for consumers. The only difference is it's now not coming direct from the house brand. And you might think, well, doesn't that add margin? And the way I believe it worked internally is that Micron would sell memory to Crucial, and then Crucial would package it. So the P&L still worked out because Crucial had to, on its own, have a margin and build a revenue. Now, you could say, why is Micron doing this? Crucial was a beloved house brand. And part of it is, well, a lot of their customers are now concentrated in hyperscalers on the Micron side. And when you're dealing with a house brand or a third-party brand, you have to have a substantial distribution network.
Yes.
You have to be able to ensure that you're in
distribution and support network.
Yeah. And what better way to increase margins than to not have that?
Yeah.
And sell it to other third parties that will happily pay the premium and go do that for you.
Yes.
And so it's much easier to do it that way. And so people are thinking, oh, this is a force of AI and machine learning, and this is, and realistically, I honestly just think that this is just corporate cost cutting.
Yeah, in my opinion, I think the writing was on the wall for crucial when they killed ballistics. In my opinion, I think I think Micron had decided to start phasing out the brand anyway, and I think AI is just a convenient excuse that they can use.
It's not really an excuse that they are using. It's one that's been associated, tied to them. Right.
Well, I think the press release.
Well, the press release says that yes, there's incredible demand for AI right now, but to say that's why we cut the brand, no, it's just. Now, I've dealt with Micron on and off for years. It's really weird how often they engage with me, but they have reached out for CES.
And I spoke to them at Supercomputing.
Yeah. So it's Micron's always been this way in terms of how much do we put in the consumer bucket. How, they don't spend that much on marketing. It was filling a need for the enterprise business users.
Yeah.
It's you remember back in the day, Intel made its own servers.
Yeah.
And that business got sold to MiTAC.
Yes.
Right. There was no, this is Intel out of servers.
No, that was Intel selling that business unit.
Yeah, but it might as well, they might have dissolved it, right?
Yeah.
But that wouldn't be Intel's getting out of servers. So this isn't Micron's getting out of consumer.
No, this is Micron's sub-brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so all this short-sightedness reporting on this announcement has really annoyed me.
Yeah,
because you clearly don't understand how this industry works, and you're looking at it at a very superficial face value. Yeah, and that's been bothering me for a few days. I'll be honest.
Davina Duckworth in chat says, "Isn't a lot of that enterprise RAM ECC? That just means you have more memory chips on a DIMM. You're not using different chips.
Yeah,
the chips are the same.
It's still the same. Or even if it wasn't, they'd all be built to a standard, and then you just turn a few bits off.
Yeah,
which for stuff that doesn't yield, and then that goes to consumers.
Yep,
it's that sort of thing. So, Jay asks, is Tyan MiTAC?
So Tyan was a brand of MiTAC that I believe they've killed. Ironically enough.
No. Tyan still exists. I think they spin out.
I thought they were a sub brand. Hold on.
Yeah. Either way, it's that sort of thing.
No, it's still MiTAC.
Yeah. No, they didn't die because they were at Supercomputing.
Yeah, no. But Tyan is a MiTAC brand.
Okay.
But they've discontinued the Tyan motherboard brand. It's not just MiTAC. Okay, yeah. So they've
kind
of like Micron, ironically enough.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's I always get MiTAC a little bit confused with PC Partner, who owns Zotac. Yeah. And I'm not sure if that's because MiTAC Zotac.
It could be. It could just be that sort of memory.
I remember getting Zotac samples, and they'll be labeled PC Partner. I'd be like, "What?" Yeah. And it's like, "Oh, I didn't realize that you were a brand of a bigger company." So, yeah, it's Mr. Viptis asks, "What sort of node is used for DRAM?" All right, start with a number 1 and put a Greek letter after it, because nobody wants to actually say the number.
So you say that, but what came out a couple days, at least just before we went to I flew up for Marvell, was Winbond announced that they're going to
Winbond.
Yes.
But that's a name I haven't heard in years.
But they're going to start producing DDR4 chips on a 16 nanometer process.
Oh yeah, it's if you actually look into some of these numbers, this is a 14.2 nanometer process.
Yeah,
this is a 16.9 nanometer. Of course, these are all numbers.
Yeah.
Or rather than say, I think it started because in the 22 nanometer memory, So somebody said like 2nd generation 22 nanometer.
Yeah.
And another company said, well, ours is called 20 nanometer.
And somebody came out with 1 alpha, I believe.
Well, no, it's because the difference between 2nd gen 22 and 20 was negligible.
Yeah.
But it's like we want a lower number.
It's sort of the what happened with 16 and 14.
Yeah.
In the logic node process domain. So
it's I need to see if I can find a Twitter post I made. I think I did it on Twitter because the memory roadmap. So also this week I've been at IEDM, which is one of the IEEE conferences that I love to go to every year. And one of the short courses, I think, had a roadmap for memory. Let me see if I can find it here. But
yeah, it's always interesting to.
Oh, that's the AMD presentation. No, that's near memory computing.
That might be it.
Yeah, that's slide. Can you tell we prepared for everything?
Yes, this is complete. Oh,
no, this is legacy DRAM, HBM.
No, I saw a roadmap. Up there. No. Okay.
No.
Not it.
Oh, it may have been on the first day.
Okay.
So, how much Micron and Crucial memory do you have?
I have actually my daily. I think that's Crucial, and I have some 4400 Crucial 16 gigabit Rev B, I believe.
It's I have a lot of Micron memory. I have 128 gigabyte DDR4 modules.
Oh, nice.
As in, it's 120 gigabytes on one module.
Yeah.
And I have 2 terabytes of that.
Yeah.
If you ever want to see something really funny, try and install Windows where you have more DRAM than SSD space. It says
Windows will lose its mind.
No. It produces a warning, just a single warning that basically says your page file will not fit on your boot drive. That's basically what it says. Actually, no, I think I shared this in the Discord. It might be easier for me to find that there. Oh, it's been one of those weeks where you see so much. You're like, what? I'm sure I shared this with somebody. Where did I share it? Yeah. Because this is it. The roadmap I did see did show things like even went down to 0 alpha.
Oh, 0 alpha. Why?
Ooh, North Pole.
Oh, nice.
It's the
North Pole is IBM's
in-memory compute.
I think I've said this, but the speaker at Hodge 23 he just was like, we're not answering questions from the press. It's like, why?
Wait, who was this?
IBM, Hodge 2023.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's I'm pretty sure I've said my issue with what they were showing off. Was they keep calling it, and they keep calling it neuromorphic.
Yeah.
Just because it's brain inspired.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you're just low precision digital.
Yeah.
to me, if you, I've softened on my stance a little bit, but if you say neuromorphic, to me that means spiking neural networks.
I don't know the difference, but
Spiking neural networks means like in the brain, but it's time domain dependent.
mm,
You can do it in the analog domain or in the digital domain. Right, I've softened on that. I used to be analog only. So if you tell me that you're doing a neuromorphic chip today, I will assume that it's a spiking neural network based accelerator, not a 2-bit, 4-bit weights and activations digital accelerator, which is kind of what North Pole does. So I can't find this slide. Maybe this is me trying to go through stuff too quickly, and I'm not paying attention.
well, I mean the point being is that it's number followed by Greek letter.
Yeah.
For DRAM nodes.
Oh, this is actually really bothering me now. It's like I want to spend 30 minutes trying to find exactly where I posted it.
Well,
maybe I'll find it in my media.
Oh my.
No, I'm just
okay.
I'm now looking through random cat pictures.
Is there anything else you want to
on the Micron thing? I mean, so prices of DRAM are spiking, right? And people are attributing this to the AI demand.
So I don't know. That doesn't ring very true in my head.
If you take the premise that consumer memory is not suitable for enterprise workloads,
then
it doesn't make sense.
Yes.
That being the justification.
Yeah.
Right. What has changed is people are now reserving supply.
Well, has not always been the case for consumer?
No, but they're reserving it further in advance on the enterprise side.
Oh.
Right. If we're going to say, well, we're going to have a data center that's, a 200 megawatts next year, we need X amount of memory.
Yeah, because I know like brands like HP, like Lenovo have had what are known as like supply contracts for decades.
Yeah,
like this goes back years and years. So it's
but now it's a case of, well, we know we're going to have this big chunk, so let's put our order in now. And if you have 15 companies trying to order memory and you've only got enough for 10, you put up the prices until 5 of them drop out and won't be able to buy it. Right. Obviously, that's a very simplified view on this, but when the demand is there, the supply hasn't changed. Right. It's just number go up, and it's the knock-on effects on consumers, on brands that do go between enterprise and consumer, focusing more on enterprise. Yeah, and it does suck for consumers who are trying to build systems. Interestingly, Framework put out a tweet saying that their upgrade pricing hasn't changed for their desktop.
Yeah,
but that might be because it's built into the chip.
Also, that's LPDDR, which is different than standard DDR.
Yeah.
Right. So your supply line may be different in terms of like who's ordering what and what spike, like supply or demand spike has happened. I'm
gonna see. No, my Google Drive.
Anyway, anything else on this?
That's ecosystem packaging.
It's gonna bug you, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Chiplet stacked. Oh, HBM.
HMC, that's something I haven't heard in years.
Hybrid memory cube. There's also a hybrid memory flash. Yeah. That's quantum computing. It's definitely not going to be in Oh, it might be in the Micron presentation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one thing on memory as well that's come out in the past week. People were talking about idle power.
Mhm.
So HBM, the technology where you put high bandwidth memory and you co-package it with an ASIC.
Mhm.
And we've always wanted it on CPUs for ages.
Yeah.
Right. And we kind of had something similar with Xeon Phi, but not quite.
That was HMC.
That was Hybrid Memory Cube.
Yeah.
And then eventually Intel decided to put out a Xeon Max CPU. Who is messaging me? Oh, Spider's waiting for me at home. That'd be why. So Xeon Max CPU had what, 64 gigs of HBM2?
Yes.
Or 2E, if I remember correctly, with a 28 core. No,
it was up to 56.
56 core CPU.
Yeah, it was Xeon. It was Sapphire
Rapids.
And
that processor, we kept asking, can we have it in workstation form?
And the answer we got was no.
And it ended up being sold mostly to high performance computing.
Yeah.
And I eventually did some digging and found out why. So some of the consumer grade energy efficiency standards that you have to obtain to sell equipment in consumer land, the processors didn't meet those standards. Why? High idle power.
Okay.
And you remember the first, or even to some extent, some of the EPYCs today, they idle at like 70 watts.
Yeah.
Right. Because
especially if you have like all the memory channels loaded and a lot of the PCIe loaded, like that CPUs will idle at 100, 150 watts just because sometimes, especially in server, you actually don't want like stuff to like idle at all. You just want it to, because you don't want to deal with, it may not come back up if you put it into a sleep state. So
and that was one of the so it turns out that HBM, at least outside of HBM for Vega and HBM for KB Lake G, which is HBM 1 and 2,
yes,
HBM 3 and above doesn't have low power modes.
Yep.
So that means your memory is idling at about 20 watts per stack. Now, loaded, it might only be 27.
Yeah.
Right? Or 30. So this means that if you've got 10,000 GPUs, each with 6 memory stacks per GPU, you're burning a lot of power just to idle.
Yeah, just sitting
idle. Just sitting there. And because a few people on Twitter have been speaking about this recently. And it turns out nobody realized this fact.
Yeah,
which is fine. People learn stuff all the time, but it does. It has.
I see what you were trying to find.
But
Ian has found it.
I found it. I went past it like 8 times. But the question is, should we be building low, HBM with low power modes? There is a potential in HBM4 because we have the compute-based die underneath.
Yes.
To perhaps go down that route and maybe do something. However, because the demand for HBM is all about high speed and capacity, there's no real, and it's all going into the data center anyway.
Yeah.
There's no impetus to make idle lower, much lower.
Like an idle focused base die.
Yeah, because it's going to be running 80-90% of the time at peak anyway. So let me grab this slide and put it into the system. Just to show. So this is a roadmap from Tokyo Electron.
Oh, TEL.
Yeah. We need to take a couple of pictures out here that we're not going to be using. Dom. Like some of the Boom Supersonic ones we won't be using. Yeah. Just let me upload this image file.
So.
And yeah, okay, so here. This is the DRAM technology roadmap according to Tokyo Electron, and I think the key part here is that top line node. 1C, 1D, 0A, 0B.
Pain. Okay, so what happens after 0E? Are we going to get -1A?
No. There's nothing here saying it's going to be hex. So by 2060 we'll be at 0x, 0y,
0Z,
0z. Yeah. So
and then are we going to get Z? Well, you say Z, I say Z.
Yeah, and it's there's some other numbers here talking about metals, and at the bottom we have HBM. So HBM4, HBM4E, HBM5, 16, 20 high stacks. So funnily enough, did you know that HBM is vertically height limited?
Yes, there's a spec. They did increase it for HBM4, right, in order to allow for 16 high stacks.
So it looks like for HBM5 and HBM6, that's not being increased.
Okay.
So what that means, if you want a HBM stack, if you want it high density, you have to make each layer thinner.
Yeah.
Which means thinning layers down to microns. Yeah.
Hey, maybe that's a job for Micron.
Well, and so what's going on here? One of the things is compression bonding. So right now HBM is compression bonding, but then they don't do hybrid integration yet. 3D stacking.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They don't do bumpless.
Is it still wires off the?
Oh, is that too?
Oh, really?
No. I'm talking about between layers.
Yeah.
I'm talking about between layers, so it's compression bonding, not. Yeah. So okay. If you look here on the slide where it says Peri CMOS high K metal gate, the transistors are still planar until 2030.
And mind you, we've moved to EUV by now, so we have EUV planar.
No, it's not even that, because you don't need to do EUV with planar.
No, I know, but I'm pretty sure that these nodes are already on EUV.
Oh yeah.
Right.
So you mean?
Yeah. So we have EUV planar nodes.
Well, no, because the EUV is used for bit cell. Not for logic.
Oh, okay, I see.
It's used for memory, not for logigic.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it's it's HBM6, HBM6E.
Yeah, but if you notice on HBM4, it's 12/16 high, and then HBM5 is 12/20 high.
16/20.
16/20. Excuse me.
Yeah. So compression bonding will make it go from 12 to 16 high. That's the plan. Moving to hybrid integration, and there's all sorts of this stuff going on, just to make the industry a lot more complex, and a lot of this stuff nobody will ever notice that they use.
Nope,
because it's all in the cloud.
Yeah,
it's all in the cloud. But this is fun. Going to events like IEDM means that people will present slides like this.
Yes.
And that's why I love going, because you can also ask a few questions to these people and find out what's going on. So, for example, they've got materials issues to solve to get to. Right now, we're dealing with cells that are called 6F squared cells, and 4F squared is I think actually 4F squared is being used, but then you've got vertical transistors, and then 3 for the bit cells, then 3D. And it just goes on.
Yeah,
people's imagination, and then you've got a lot of ideas to come across to do this. So
to use a Britishism, it's bloody complex.
Yeah. And Jay says the explanation I heard was all this stuff is made in the same fabs, and capacity is getting eaten up by HBM for AI. So I did post on Twitter a graph. They came out of one of these presentations about how the fabs haven't been they haven't been buying equipment for memory expansion. So the capex you spend on wafer equipment has been going down like 15-20% year on year
Ooh.
until 23.
Okay.
And then 24 it went up, and 25 is going to go up.
Yeah.
And as it goes up, a lot of the new build out is for HBM.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because there's so much crazy demand for it.
Yeah.
I mean, the problem though is packaging.
Yeah.
Right. So not only do you have to make the HBM chips, you also have to then put them next to your high speed compute die. But there's only so much of the technology that puts them together.
Yeah.
It's what was it? TSMC doubled their CoWoS packaging strategy 23 to 24.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if they doubled from 24 to 25, but they're still expected to grow. And now there's talks about whether they're actually going to be bringing any of that technology onto US soil.
Well, I'm pretty sure that the OSATs...
Oh, thank you for the $5, by the way, Jay.
Yeah. The OSATs, or I can never remember what OSAT stands for.
It's third-party packaging.
Yeah, but it's... Yeah. I think that like Amkor, ASE... these companies have licensed CoWoS in order to build out CoWoS.
Yeah.
Even so, I think Amkor is building CoWoS here.
Yeah, because there was that big announcement when Nvidia, and TSMC in Arizona. Yeah, and Bessie does 3D stacking, and I know a bunch of fabs are licensing that technology as well to enable 3D stacking. I haven't seen that much 3D stacking, to be honest.
No, I mean the big player in the 3D stacking realm at the moment is AMD.
So upcoming video, I interviewed AMD CTO Mark Papermaster on Monday. He had some choice words to say about 3D.
Oh,
and AMD's position in that space.
Can I get the TLDR?
Wait until the video, because I'm sure somebody will try and pick holes in what he says. But no, that was fun. I got to ask Mark about his history, because he spent 26 years at IBM.
Yeah, and a lot of AMD's higher ups are all IBMers.
But he spent time at HBM doing chiplets. In the 80s.
Oh yeah.
So did you know we had chiplets in the 80s?
Yes.
And so he was busy doing that, and so I asked him a couple of questions on how many parallels can you pull from there to now, because we went chiplet, monolithic chiplet. Yeah. And the short answer is it's the same but faster.
Yeah, because what's changed in the 40 years is interconnect.
Yeah,
is density of TSVs.
High speed analog interconnect as well. Yeah, so it's So anything more to say on memory?
No,
it's such a complex industry, and yes, it's annoying that consumers are getting shafted on pricing. Especially those who want to actually play with AI, with models at home. Actually, that was one of the things that Marvell said this week. Is we have CXL expanders.
Yes.
So if you have spare PCIe lanes and support CXL, then why not put one of our DDR4 memory controllers?
Yeah. Actually, our good friend Patrick Kennedy at Serve the Home
has a great video
and article on those memory expanders.
Sponsored video for him.
Was it?
Yeah, okay. It's sponsored by Marvell. Yeah, and but their whole thing is, well, okay, you've got a data center of DDR5 and a data center of DDR4. Don't just scrap the DDR4.
Yeah,
use it as additional memory storage. And it's like tiered memory, so it's a bit slower and latency is going to be higher, but they have things like memory compression technology to improve the effective bandwidth and all that sort of stuff. I actually had a good chat about the marketing of that.
Yeah,
because they market that hardware as a memory expander, right?
Yes.
In a market where memory is expensive, do you really want to talk about how you've got a tool that makes you buy more memory?
I would say I think sort of the marketing should more be memory reuser.
But because they've got compression technology, because they're reusing it, I just said call it a memory accelerator. Because then you don't have the connotations of cost. And it is, you're improving the performance of old memory. There's also a discussion here about, how long do you keep your main PC at home? 3-4 years before doing a big upgrade?
I mean, honestly, my PC hasn't been upgraded since 21.
Well, yeah. It's until I upgraded mine last year, it was 8 years old.
Yeah.
Right. And if you're looking at an enterprise system or a hyperscaler system, maybe that long, they depreciate the hardware over 3-4 years, though some of them are saying 7 now.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the depreciation happens. Then what happens to the hardware afterwards? Is it still running, or do you mothball it, sell it, and build new? And so the question is, well, if you're mothballing it, is that because you can't use that memory anymore because it's past its life cycle? Or are you willing to accept that it's past its life cycle and might be more prone to errors and use it for another few years? Or do you accept the fact that most memory realistically will work for 15 years and not have any issues?
Yeah. Like
it's that that sort of argument happens. It's some of it is very holistic and conceptual. Some of it is people actually deciding whether to spend $10 million on this or $50 on that at home. So brief interlude. Did you read about EPYC Embedded 2005?
Yeah, it's basically just the laptop chips.
Chips.
Yeah. So you know how AMD has the X range. Fire range or Dragon range. These are essentially the desktop chips put into a BGA form factor for the big sort of desktop replacement laptops. Essentially what they've done is that they've now taken those chips and put them into the embedded market.
Maybe I'm getting a little bit confused because if I remember correctly, EPYC Embedded 4004 was Zen 4 desktop chips in an embedded
but that
space.
Was LGA.
Yes.
This is BGA.
Okay, because they're using mobile chips.
Yes.
And it's 2000 rather than 4000.
Yes.
And it's Zen 5.
Yes. So this is analogous to the 4005 series. And I believe that is lunch.
Hey. Thank you very much.
Awesome. So but yes, they are giving these chips, I believe, a 15-year life cycle.
It's well, I mean, they're embedded chips, right? So
yes.
Speaking of chips, I have Doritos. So it's you can tell how good George and I planned this.
Oh yeah, this was very well planned.
So thankfully our should we do it like LTT? They don't have a sponsor for the show, but they have a chair partner and a laptop partner, and we have a studio partner today.
Yes,
in Tensodyne who have I have an avocado chicken rice bowl,
and I have a hot honey chicken
triple avocado. Please consume by 3:45. So that's our cutoff for the podcast. So
yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. What's our next topic?
Bless you.
Oh, I just realized my microphone's attached. So
that didn't really work. It's fine. Do you want to talk about supercomputing?
Oh yeah, that happened.
Like real quick, sort of like just what was your sort of
because we did a Poutine
at supercomputing. That was before we went on the floor.
On the show floor, yeah.
So
I think overall it was definitely a really good conference.
Yes.
This year I booked almost. I think I booked one meeting.
Yes, and I was booked out.
Yeah, you did what I used to do and book 50 meetings.
I think that's, especially if I'm going to be hobbling around, then I think that's going to have to change a little.
Realistically, the thing is, you could arguably get a chips and cheese booth and organize people to come to you. However, that doesn't stop randoms coming up trying to sell you what they're doing.
Yes.
and as much as we love everybody in the industry, some stuff we just don't care about.
Yeah.
But
I don't care about like that, a specific water cooling fluid. Like
that was one of the criticisms that supercomputing, for those who didn't catch the last stream or haven't heard about it before, it's one of the biggest academic / trade shows on the calendar. It's focused on high performance computing. There's what, 500 presentations?
Oh, I think more.
Or even that, yeah. So there's like 29 different tracks you can go look at. Or there's the trade show floor, which this year was 30% bigger than previous years.
So let me put you this way. It was big enough that I don't think it's ever going to be in St. Louis again.
No. They've said it's not, because we had to use an overflow room. And all
we were literally in the Cardinal Stadium.
Yeah.
Because it was just overflow.
And yeah, the companies that were put in the annex essentially complained that they weren't on the main floor and they'd paid the same price. But in previous years, I've gone to talks and not had time to go to the show floor. And our good friend Glenn Lockwood, who's now at Vast Data, he that's what he did this year. I spent this year and I just went on the show floor. I didn't go to any of the talks. And plus and minuses to that. And the show floor is open for like 2.5 days. And I don't think so. Normally I'll walk the show floor, right? And it's a good few miles to walk it. But realistically, you need to walk it 2, 3, 4 times to make sure you actually see, because you'll walk through it once and miss half the stuff. I don't think in 2.5 days I completed that. No. But I think I still did at least 1.5, if not 2 full walkthroughs.
And then next year is going to be in McCormick Place in Chicago. Which is going to be an even bigger venue.
It's but the problem now is I wouldn't say it's a problem, because it's still really fun when it happens, but I get stopped often enough for selfies and chats, and there's some of it is also clients just coming up and companies that I work with just saying, hey, what have you seen at the show, how's it going? The key thing here is wear comfortable shoes, 2, stay hydrated, and 3, if you have the opportunity to sit, take it. And sometimes force that as well. I spent half of an afternoon walking around with a student who I'd helped with their senior year group project.
Sweet.
And he just happened to be at the show for the job fair. And we met up afterwards. And he started walking around with me, and after 2.5 hours, he was beat. And I turned around and said, "Yeah, it's like 2:00 now. I haven't had breakfast. I haven't had lunch. I still need to keep going." So
I think that's partly why what happened. I also didn't wear supportive enough shoes. So
it's but from the event perspective, there was a lot of little interesting things going on. And I have been wanting to do a dedicated video about what I saw. I just haven't had the time to do it yet. But let me bring up events, because
so one of the things at Supercomputing that was announced, because we got a lot of announcements from HPE/Cray before Supercomputing, but at Supercomputing was the announcement of Alice Rocoque, which is going to be the second exascale system in Europe. That is a Evident and AMD system. And I published an article that I was working on. It said supercomputing trying to reverse calculate MI430X's FP64 vector performance.
Yep.
From its from the announcements, and then as well as trying to figure out Discovery, which is the replacement for.
So this is all the new AMD supercomputers announced that are going to be using next generation hardware.
Yes,
but we don't know the specifications of that hardware yet. But if given enough numbers, maybe you can do the math.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we don't know anything about Discovery other than what has been said is roughly 3 to 5 times faster than Frontier. What that 3 to 5 times means, we don't know. It's just that. So
yeah,
I did try to reverse calculate all that in.
It's let's put the link in for Chips and Cheese for this article.
Yeah,
I'll dump it in in the chat.
Yeah. So
estimating performance. It's I went walking around. Interesting to see some of the optical switch stuff. The onboard optics, not the co-packaged optics, not yet. Excuse me. We saw UCIe 32 gig demos from Cadence. At 25 mil. Yes,
which was neat.
Yeah. That's I wonder if I can put in this picture. No, annoyingly, our system doesn't allow a drag on this.
So therefore, it is a drag.
Yeah. Let's go with this one. Yeah. So this is the test system they had. On the right, you've got a motherboard. Right. On the left, you've got 5 chiplets.
That's a very odd.
Right. The whole purpose of this is that the 2 chiplets on the right show a 7 millimeter separation for UCIe.
Okay.
The one chip in the bottom left is a control chip.
Okay.
And the other 2 that are like up here.
Yeah.
That's your 25 mil separation.
Oh, so it's also doing this.
Yeah. Well, it's doing that.
Yeah.
And the whole point here is we can do 32 gig UCIe over that distance.
Interesting.
Which means that you could have 2 chips connected to each other via UCIe, and you could put a chip in the middle that has nothing to do with it. You'd have to route around it.
Yeah, I was gonna say that would cause some peace. The substrate people would be crying.
So one of the things that looks like it's coming down the roadmap. Yes,
Jay, that's very funny. Jay in chat says, "What kind of PCBWay nonsense is this?"
PCBWay being one of the Chinese.
I think they're Taiwanese.
Hobbyist PCB
manufacturers. Yeah,
I think I've read a couple of emails for them for sponsorship. Help with your project, but one of the things that's coming down the pipe is right now we have a chip and you put like your HBMs around the edge.
Yeah.
Well, imagine you could put 2 layers of HBMs.
Yes, I believe
bunch of wires did this a while back.
Elian,
yeah.
Elian was
they're the bunch of wires guys. So
are they okay? Then yeah.
So the problem it's one thing to get these signals to work over distance.
Yes.
It's another to get them working behind one another.
Yes.
And I think what Elian showed off is a staggered approach, like bricks in the wall.
Yeah.
And that way you have direct lines, but then you also have to manage, is there additional latency to the ones at the back versus the ones at the front? Because you can't equalize your signal length.
Well, no, but in that case, I would imagine that you would just stripe it all together and you would just take the latency penalty.
Or you do it as a tiered memory hierarchy. That's addressable.
There's
Yes. It's that sort of thing.
I
And,
just be striping it and take the latency penalty.
Jason just says just use AI. Or no, he says just us AI. I think you're exposing yourself, mate. You're exposing your AI. AI-ness. Well, yeah. So Cadence showed that off. They had some numbers to go along with that. I saw the first chip to use Gustafson's posits. That's now becoming available. Posits are a different way of representing numbers, but in a way that the more bits you use, the more accurate your number representation is.
In theory, yes.
In theory, yes. But no, it's in silicon, not in FPGA.
Which is nice, yes.
Which is nice. Yeah, I'll save a bit more for that. I saw some of the first 448 gig SERDES connections.
Oh.
Let me.
I know. Marvell was showing that off too.
Yes, at the event, but
Yeah.
a few weeks ago, I saw this, and this is that's different directory. See if I can bring this image up. This is a company called Sienna, who I've never interacted before. It looks that's meant to be an eye diagram. 448 gig PAM4.
Oh.
The whole point is that the solid blue between like the green bits in the middle, that's called your eye.
Yes.
And the idea is that's as big as possible because it makes it as stable as possible. Those eyes look kind of small, but as you get into more complex regimes, they are going to be small. The key number here is their bit error rate, which is the BER. And that is 4.6 times 10 to the negative 4.
So,
or about one bit in, I don't know, 6,000.
Yeah, something like that. I just sent you a better picture of the eye from the Marvell event of what.
Oh yeah, this was in the demos, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I had to skip the demos because I had dinner with the CEO of Substrate. Foreboding. No, the dinner was off the record, so I can't say much. But I still do have that video coming.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, let me remove that image and add this image from George. I think we might need to remove an image.
Jay says, "Oh, is this Sienna, the optical networking people? They're big on the ISP carrier side." I would assume so.
Yeah, it's Sienna with a C.
Yes.
See,
yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a much neater representation.
Yes.
Of and we can show this, right?
Yes.
This is on the record. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is their 448 gig PAM4.
Marvell was like, please take pictures, like, show it on social
media. Good.
Yeah. So
so you can see the eye in the middle is actually pretty small. And the bigger your eye, the more leeway you have in terms of tolerance. And when you get into these, it's getting pretty tiny.
Yeah.
And we haven't even touched simultaneous bidirectional yet. So yeah, that was supercomputing for 448 gig. It was highlighted to me that while they have that, some of their pre-prep stages aren't meeting industry spec yet. So bumped into a company called CogniFiber.
I think the name semi rings a bell.
Let's make some. I wonder if I can play this video file. Because all I have is a video file right now.
Do we want to talk about Tachyon?
In a second.
Okay.
In a second.
Because it was brought up in chat.
All right. So this is CogniFiber. Their whole thing is compute in light. Compute using light in cables. So
Interesting.
so
Okay.
if you have a compute,
Mhm.
if you have a compute calculation you want to use, you
Mhm.
send your data through a multiplication cable, then an
Mm.
addition cable, then maybe a tensor cable. And the idea is you're just switching where the light goes,
Mm.
and the end result is your data, right?
Interesting.
And if you have a big enough system
Mhm.
with enough cables to do enough work, your kernel,
Mhm.
your standard program, is not a compute kernel. It's just a switching kernel that tells where all the optical switching has to be, and then you just send your light down.
Actually, you know who would be probably quite interested in this because they have the infrastructure to do it.
What?
Google.
Well, so this is still like 7 years off commercialization.
Yeah, of course, but I mean,
Yeah.
Google uses something similar for connecting TPU pods up.
Yeah, I heard a rumor that they only change their optical switch once a day.
Yeah.
But the problem with optical switches is that even with the best, they switch in milliseconds, and electrical switches switch in nanoseconds.
Mm-hmm.
By this we mean if you have a packet of data, the data lists itself where it needs to go, and you go to a switch, and the switch determines which pipe to send it down.
Mm-hmm.
This is how the internet works. But with optics, you can't do that because you need to convert optic to electrical to read the data to determine where to send it. Then you need to send it back into an optical domain. So go, unless you know the networking before the packet is even generated.
Mm-hmm.
And that way you can configure the network switch to point in the right direction because it's all light, obviously. And then you send your photons down, and you don't need to read the packet mid-transit.
No.
So if you're doing a big training run, which is what Google uses their OCS to do, your training run is fixed. So you only need to set it once per day, or even once per hour, once per minute, whatever. The problem is if you have a multi-tenant environment, like inference, and lots of people going around, those packets can be generated and you don't know where they're going. And that's why switching happens.
Yes.
The idea with this is you do the compute in the fiber. I'm probably doing a really bad job of explaining it, but what I wanted to bring, so let's see if I can get to the part of the video where they actually show. See, George, have a look at this. I thought this was on a slideshow, and it wasn't. It was some guy controlling it. So they have different cores in their fiber on the left, and the right is what you get when you come out. And it adjusts the wavelength as well. And
that's interesting.
It's an Israeli startup. They're looking to build machines eventually, and the idea is that eventually you just have a big enough machine, like a rack, that just has enough addition, multiplication, tensor fibers.
Speaking of system, I think this came out Monday. Sounds about right. So that's not what I want. Let me.
Are you talking about the NextSilicon stuff?
Yes. I was trying to find the name of it real quick.
Vanguard.
No, Vanguard was it's the replacement.
Spectra.
Spectra. Thank you. Yeah. So actually, it may still be the Vanguard project.
It is the Vanguard project, and this is a Spectra supercomputer within the Vanguard project.
Yeah. So this is using NextSilicon Maverick 2 OAM, so the dual die version. It's 128 of those chips, 64 nodes, 2 chips per node. And they published a video of I think it was the GUPS results, and how they got it, like the code for it.
Okay.
Which
I don't think I've seen that yet.
Which is good. No, it does sort of alleviate what I said a couple tech routines prior. And then they're going to be showing the HPC-G numbers scaling on this system soon as well. So I look forward to see that But what was also interesting, and I think this is a world's first, so they announced the brain work. What's their CPU core called?
Arbel.
The Arbel test chip. Now, we were thinking, I had originally thought that it was just a CPU chiplet that they had designed.
Right.
It's not. It's actually for a customer. And the customer was gracious enough to allow them to put 2 of the Arbel CPUs on the ASIC.
Okay.
Now, they didn't have either enough time or space to put a standard memory interface on it. But what they did have was a PCIe PHY that was capable of CXL. So they're running, or they booted the CPU subsystem off CXL memory.
Yep.
And solely off CXL memory.
Yep.
Which I think is actually really neat. I think that's the first chip that we know of that's booted solely on CXL memory.
Well, we've had chips that are booted pure off, CPUs that are booted pure off of HBM.
Yeah.
Pure off of Optane.
Yep.
Right. This is just another stack in the cache hierarchy. The difference being here is it doesn't have a DDR5 controller.
No.
Or a GDDR, or
it doesn't have a standard memory
interface at all.
Per se. So
did they talk about any sort of additional latency or?
So yeah, I was talking with.
Can we get an Arbel picture, Dom?
I was talking from
should be in Supercomputing.
From, NextSilicon, and they're like, yeah, I don't really see CXL as like a replacement for direct attach because it's a lot higher latency.
Yeah.
So it's like 600, 700 nanoseconds instead of your standard like 100 to 150 ish.
Yeah.
But that's just because of PCIe and whatnot. So, but it is really cool that they were able to boot it up.
Yeah. So here's the Arbel that they're showing off.
Yes.
This is a picture from Andy. Thanks, Andy.
Yep. And you can see the
little finger.
Yep. The little
on the right hand side.
Yep. So I think that was actually pretty cool.
Yeah, it's so the way I understand it is it's still relatively a test chip. But there are customers out there that want something a different host to x86 with Maverick.
Or maybe not even that. Maybe it could be for security reasons, right?
Yeah,
like it's trying to intercept a trace on a silicon package is a lot harder than trying to trace a packet like a packet from like a host CPU to a accelerator.
Yeah. Well, it does mean you have to deal with CXL semantics and rather than standard memory issue. But realistically, you save the die space because you don't have the memory controller. You save the validation cost.
Yes.
To deal with memory, and then because it's CXL, you can put. It doesn't matter. It's memory technology agnostic. So if you can't afford DDR5. You go buy some DDR3.
Yeah, I was going to say, just go. There are plenty of old power edges on eBay that have plenty of DDR3.
Yeah, it's. I've just realized I'm not connected to power and I'm about to go down. That's my fault. Yeah, so it's. We're not saying CXL is the standard for direct attached memory, but
No.
it's useful.
Yeah,
because it could also be if something if a phase change memory like Optane comes around again, then yeah, it's it could happen.
Yeah.
Are you getting one into test yet?
No, not yet. I haven't followed up. Just
but it's interesting how you would test it, right?
Yeah,
given the memory.
So one of the sort of limitations that I could see is because your memory latency is so high, you sort of just have to admit that you're not going to be able to cover it. So like you then sort of have to trim into tests that sort of stay within like L3 cache.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you could look at bandwidth as like an interesting metric, because I believe it's an X4 connection at PCIe 5. So that gives you what, 16 gigabytes per second each direction, so 32 total, which isn't kind of similar to like the sort of lower end SBCs.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that would be interesting, sort of looking from that perspective. So
it's I want to bring this up because next in our supercomputing list, NEC. Vector engine.
Yes, NEC.
We kind of spoke about this on the last Poutine, just before the show floor started.
Mm-hmm.
As one of the things we wanted to go see was what's happening with NEC and their vector engine.
Yeah.
Turns out stuff is happening. If you went to their booth, they showed off this diagram.
Yeah, I was told that that's not very accurate.
Oh, okay, that's a shame. You've got. I think I saw it said maybe RISC-V cores.
Yeah. So,
super chiplets.
Yeah. So at least not in terms of like the chiplet layout. It was hinted at that it will have 8 HBM stacks.
Okay.
And then but the actual like layout of all of it is up in the air.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So I believe last time I said that it was going to be that the vector side of it was going to be RISC-V based.
Mm-hmm.
That is incorrect.
Yep.
So the vector engine, so there's three, you can think of it as three engines on this thing. There's the scalar engine, the vector engine, and the matrix engine. The vector engine is still using the same, a very similar vector engine to the older NEC vector engines. And they're using that ISA. Whereas the scalar and matrix units are RISC-V based.
It's I've pulled it up here.
So
yeah, so this is NEC doing a partnership with OpenChip.
Mm-hmm.
So Open NEC have got their vector engines, but OpenChip is basically doing everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And it's for OpenChip customers, not necessarily for NEC customers. Vector engine has been used. It's been used for a lot of defense work in Japan, and it just so happens that they also talk about it externally because some universities have it as well. They've not been that. I showed in the video here that this is their timeline generation of all of NEC's vector engines.
Yeah.
And in 2018, they spoke about their, Tsubasa, one that went into Aurora, their SX Aurora Tsubasa system.
Yeah.
But they never really mentioned anything about Gen 2 or Gen 3.
Yeah.
They were very quiet about those products.
But they were not talked about.
Yeah, and even though you can see it went from 16 nanometer to 7 nanometer, the frequency stayed roughly the same. The performance, funnily enough, they call it a CPU. Their performance, almost doubled in terms of teraflops, and their bandwidth doubled. But when it comes to their next generation, it doesn't feel like that. This is the Gen 4. This just feels like a fork with a partner.
Yeah, this feels more like NEC licensing their vector engine IP to OpenChip.
Yeah.
Right. So
I do have this slide. Sorry, it's not zoomed in. The key thing here. So the vector technology is not going to be open source, but NEC is developing the next generation vector processor with OpenChip. Oh, okay, so it is NEC's next generation vector engine.
Okay. Then
it's just that they're using a third party for the for other stuff.
Fair enough.
Aiming for 2029. It was the same with Monarca.
Yeah.
Right. And Fujitsu. They announced Monarca very early.
Yeah.
And so actually, Preferred Networks announced their chip really early as well. So I'm not saying all these Japanese companies.
As did MN core.
Yes.
Yeah, they all started out very, very early.
So it sounds like they all want to get ahead of the curve, whereas we've got Google, who only just mentioned TPU v7 because they're about to mothball them.
Well, yeah, more like they're probably already at like TPU v
9. V9 in
8.
tape out. Yeah. It's weird, that sort of thing. But yeah, so while we didn't get much information on the vector engine, we at least got this little slide deck, which is kind of fun. I also got an image.
I like the color. The color is very striking. Purple.
So that's the same color as NextSilicon.
Yep.
Sambanova.
We're gonna
talk about them.
Tenstorrent.
Yeah.
Cornelis after the rebrand.
Yep.
By the way, look forward to a video with Lisa Spillman of Cornelis.
Yeah.
Did an interview with her that went lovely. So
I have a picture of me biting into HBM4, so there's that. The last thing we should probably talk about from Hot Chips is
supercomputing.
Supercomputing.
We're already thinking about next year.
Is Light Matters demo.
What did you think of it?
So you didn't see the back?
No, I did not actually. I passed by their booth a couple times, but I did not stop.
No,
so
you didn't get to see the back room stuff.
No.
Let's see if do I have a good image, or is it just in the video? Okay, let me do a quick upload of this video. So tell people the backstory while I sort this out.
So Light Matter is a company that I believe was spun out a lot from a research group at MIT. And what they're doing is they're doing essentially a silicon light interposer. They're replacing the silicon interposer with a one that's light based.
They're one of the three major optical connectivity companies, one of which you just got acquired by Marvell.
Yep. Celestial.AI, Light Matter, and IR Labs.
Yes, but in 2022, the conference that I was just at, not the Marvell one, IEDM, one of their engineers brought one of their interposers to the conference, and I was told that's specifically for you to bite, Ian.
That's funny.
And so I've got a picture of me biting it in my Be Quiet Christmas jumper because it was a lot colder back then. And at Hot Chips this year, when they did their presentation, I got up and I said, "Hey fellas, that's great.
Yep.
You've got some great marketing material, and we've been seeing you at conferences again and again. When's your first public demo?"
Yeah.
And they said supercomputing. I got a lot of feedback from asking.
Yeah, I know.
Which you can now see online. Yeah. Hot Chips is now available online on YouTube.
Yep.
And so why is that on the stage? Can we get rid of some of this stuff that we don't need anymore? Here we go.
Okay.
Right. So this is the demo that they had on the show floor. There's two demos. One was on the show floor, one was in the back room. And the show floor is they had their passage. So this is their interposer. So imagine like a CoWoS interposer, but instead of it being electrical, it's optical. And they had two of these connected together with two cables, bidirectional, running at 50 gig NRZ. NRZ in this case just means binary 0 or 1.
So not, I can't remember if it's 56 or 112 PAM4.
No, it's 50.
Okay, because I remember something different.
No, it's 50 gig PAM4, but they're using, I think it was 8 wavelengths. So you have 8 different colors of light.
Yep.
Right, and so 8 times 50 is 400.
Yep.
So they had two cables So that means 800, and then bidirectional
Mm-hmm.
using some Jensen math is 1.6 terabits per second.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very much Jensen math.
Yeah. And so what you can see in this diagram is that on screen is the two passage interposers with the cables going back and forth. And they're showing this. It's also bidirectional.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if it's simultaneous bidirectional.
Okay.
It's their top spec may be different to this.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. Well, no, I didn't realize that they were using 56G NRZ.
Yeah.
I thought that they were using 56G PAM4.
No.
Okay.
No. And yeah, so they did this over a 200-meter cable, showing that it was stable. The bit error rate was, they said here at 10 to the negative 10.
With or without FEC?
This is pre-FEC.
Okay.
Which isn't industry leading.
No, but that's not terrible.
I mean, with FEC, it'll probably go down to 10 to the negative 12.
Yeah.
Which is ideally what you need.
Yeah, that's a lot better.
The thing is, you've got to think, well, once they start doing 16 wavelength or 100 gig or PAM4,
what does your bit error rate look like?
Transfer.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that was a demo they were showing off from the show floor, showing it running at 26 degrees. They say that they're thermally stable.
That's good.
But their demos were using cold plates with chillers. And they just and they so one of the things with their solution I've learned is that it's very sensitive to electrostatics, so they didn't want anybody touching anything.
Oh, so always have your ESD bracelet on.
Yeah, your Livestrong bracelet.
Yeah.
So this was a demo, and you can see the cables going in and out, and this is the one that they had on the show floor.
Okay.
The other one that they had in the back room was this. So similar sort of setup using their M1000 interposer. But,
was that the 16 wavelengths?
No. I'll get to it in a bit. So it's still 50 gig NRZ, but instead of it being two connections between chip to chip, you have all 8.
Okay.
Going to all 8. But then you also have, because the idea is that it's 64 core.
Yeah.
The chip underneath.
Yep.
And also you're detecting the bit error rate between point to point.
Interesting.
The only difference here is that the connection for the cables out were like a couple of feet, not a couple of 100 meters. And but also there were different lengths as well.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a variety, but the idea is meant to be an all to all.
Yeah.
Right. All to two chips. As far as I understand it, I did ping them and ask for them for a clarification. So the setup looks like that basically.
Yeah.
Where all the cables from one are all going to all the other, and they're not like 200 meters and stuff. And they also had another backup system here as well. And this is what they showed me. This is their bit error rate per lane.
Oh, that's neat.
And they had an interface so you could see the bit error rate for every thing.
Okay.
And there's a lot of connections here.
I'm seeing quite a bit of variance.
Yeah, no, that's the thing is a bit error rate of like 10 to the negative 10 means like 1 error every minute.
In this system.
But the point is, once you have 1 error, it looks like a spike.
Yeah.
Because it's a discrete error.
Yeah.
And so if you're doing a weighted average over time of what your bit error rate is, so some of these like 10 to the negative 16, some of them are 0. Right? They've never had 1 since it's been running, right? Or whatever the so that was showing off like a whole bunch of their bit error rates here going here. And then I went back to showing that, and the key thing here is power, right? On this image, I think if you average the power numbers between both the demos, it came to about 2.2 picojoules per bit, 2.3 picojoules per bit. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's about half of, slightly less than half of certainly more than half of what IR was showing. But that also included the laser.
Yeah, this doesn't include the laser.
Okay. Yeah, because they were showing about 4 picojoules per bit, including the laser.
And copper can be anything from copper to copper can be 10, and then if you do copper to switch and then switch to switch, or using transceivers, it's 30 plus. 30 watts per connection. It gets insane. So there's they were showing off that demo, and
so
it definitely hits the bar of being a demo.
Yeah,
visible demo.
Yeah, which is good.
Devil in the details, though.
Yeah, the slogan for CNC.
So with this, I mean that's supercomputing in a nutshell. Do we want to go over to Light Matter's competitor, Celestial, who just got acquired?
I was gonna go first for Tachyon, and then
let's come back to that. Let's try and stay on optical topic for a second.
Okay.
So Celestial is one of the 3 big optical chip-to-chip startups that we cover. Light Matter and IR being the other 2. And Celestial's whole thing that they showcased at Hot Chips is that they also have optical interposer technology, and also optical chiplet technology. The idea being that they can do, again, like an all-to-all. But their first implementation was this memory device where you connect your ASIC to a plug board optically, directly. And inside the plug board is a terabyte of HBM and 13 terabytes of DRAM. And you can have 32 ASICs, 32 chips, all connected to that. And the idea being you don't have to rely on this one chip having access to 32, 64 gigs, 128 gigs of HBM. Have it access to terabytes of DRAM backed by tens of terabytes of terabytes of HBM backed by tens of terabytes of DRAM in a cache hierarchy. So the idea being that it's like an integrated solution. As a company, they've been speaking to me a lot more this year than they ever have. I've met the CEO Dave a couple of times now, and Preet over there, the team, and some of the sales guys, Mark, and they're upbeat and confident as a lot of these startups are, but an interesting solution and a startup, and then they get acquired by Marvell.
Yeah, that was very abrupt. I was not expecting that announcement. I think it came down on the 2nd.
Yeah, and the thing is, Marvell has its own optics platform.
Yeah.
And they've been talking about their co-packaged optics for a while.
Yeah.
And to go out and buy a co-packaged optics company, is that admission that your own internal effort didn't work?
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people read it as. So, and for context, for those of you following technologies, Marvell's optics was Mach-Zehnder interferometer based modulators, which are stable but big. And scaling out can be an issue when you're also dealing with size, but relatively thermally stable and middle of the road of a lot of key features. Celestial's is germanium-based electron absorption modulator, which is incredibly thermally stable by comparison, but people consider it to manufacturing reliability, but also scale out with multi-wavelength in the future could be something to address. And there's the third technology, which is micro rings, which on the face is often seen as thermally unstable, but that's now a solved problem. That's being used by IR and Light Matter and everybody else, and Nvidia. And so for Celestial to come in, and as we saw at Marvell Day yesterday, seem to have completely taken over that portion of the roadmap already in 10 days, less than 8 days, a week,
barely a week.
Well, a week from the announcement.
Yeah.
And the acquisition hasn't fully happened yet.
No.
It was what, 3.25 billion, which is $1 billion in cash, 2.25 billion in stock.
Yeah.
And if that division makes $2 billion in revenue by 2029, then another 2.25 billion in stock will be issued.
So what's that exit like a?
So it's like a 6x exit with zero revenue, or peak would be more like a 10.
Oh, well, that's pretty
or
good.
10 or more. So
yeah. So what they did also say is that they have a hyperscaler customer. They didn't say who, but they said that the customer is deploying hundreds of thousands of accelerators per quarter, which basically limits you.
Google, Google, Amazon.
Well, no, it basically limits you to either Google or Amazon.
ByteDance, Tencent.
I don't think the Chinese are
involved.
Yeah. So I'm gonna remove them from this. I'm also going to exclude Azure because they're not making their own, and that was emphasized.
Yeah.
Well, they are, but Maya is not.
Well, so this is the thing. Marvell has its own ASIC business.
Yeah.
Right, and they do have a few key contracts with hyperscalers.
Yes.
I've been told, don't believe everything you read in the press about who's got what contract.
Yeah.
Or who's lost.
Also, I'm pretty sure that Google's technology for how they do pods wouldn't really work super well with this.
It might be a different chip altogether. You don't know.
Yeah, it could be, but I suspect
it could be
AWS. It could be Google though.
Yeah, integrating into a customer and deploying at scale. One of the things that all these optical companies have is that they have to prove the technology works, but then show that they can manufacture it at scale. And I think all the companies so far in this space have shown it works at some level, but have to show that it's a scale. Now, this is an expensive technology, so realistically, there's only a dozen companies, maybe 2 dozen worldwide, who'd be interested in the technology, or ASIC providers like Marvell. But then, in order those big customers, they're going to want to deploy 50,000 chips a month, 100,000 chips a month, a million chips a month, and as a result, if you've got this like platform that you suddenly need to, so we need to make 50,000, 100,000 units a month. Last year we did 10,000.
Yeah.
Right. It becomes a manufacturing scale up.
Yeah.
So the problem, and that's why a lot of those optical companies went through Series C and Series D raises during 25. It's all about manufacturing the scale. And
if Celestial.AI if they are able to scale to an AWS or a Google scale, then that definitely proves that they're able to make this technology work at major volume.
Well, one of the things of being acquired by Marvell is Marvell does have the supply chain.
Yeah, that was actually one of the big things that was being talked about is Marvell's supply chain is very, very strong.
And robust. So if a company needs to scale and something that's very technical engineering wise quickly, that's one way to do it.
Yeah.
So for example, IR Labs is doing it with Alchip. They've got a strong collab with Alchip going on there for scale. It's that sort of thing. But yeah, no, we the reaction I think has been positive, but it does mean that the technology that Celestial are using is now under more scrutiny.
Yeah.
Because as a startup, everybody would give them the benefit of the doubt, saying, "Oh, you're going to be working with one major customer, and you've got to make sure it deploys at the customer and does all that." Now that they're under Marvell, and Marvell has dozens of customers, it's a case of, well, you've got to showcase your technology works with everyone.
Yeah.
So now, the bar has been risen through the fact that they've been acquired.
Yeah.
So now the questions we weren't asking before, things like germanium longevity and whatever, are now coming to the fore. Reliability, for example, because some of this stuff, it's still unknown how reliable or not it is. And lasers, for example, are some of the most unreliable parts because you're pumping light down a tube, for lack of a better analogy, and you're trying to determine the difference between your energy levels and whatever. But you're sensitive to the wavelength, and the wavelength drifts with age. You have to be able to compensate for that, and that's why I believe Celestial's technology is a bit more broad spectrum than others. So maybe well, that's what I mean. It's broad spectrum. So it's that sort of thing. But yeah, so that's one acquisition that's happened. Intel. Do you want to speak about this?
Well, so either I'm going to talk about
I'm going to open my lunch.
Samba Nova, or I'm going to talk about Tachyon. Which one would you prefer?
Let's go nice for now.
Okay.
Samba Nova.
So Samba Nova. So
who is Samba Nova?
Samba Nova was one of the original sort of AI accelerator companies. Or I should say original. They were one of the sort of
top four.
Yeah, top four in terms of money raise of the AI
hardware startups.
Yeah. They
the others being Grok, Cerebrus, Tenstorrent.
Yep. They are I believe they are data flow architecture.
CGRA / data flow.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're arguably similar.
Yeah. They were on their 4th generation chip, codename Cerulean.
I always want to say Cardinal, but that's the previous strategy.
Yeah, Cardinal was 1, 2, 3, and then Cerulean was 4. SN40L for language models, using HBM3, multi-die. That whole jazz. But their last fundraising round was in 2021, right? But they'd raised over $1 billion. They were the first. They were the first to raise over $1 billion in this industry. Yeah.
Okay.
If you take out Horizon Robotics, which is China-funded China thing. So, but they had pivoted from hardware sales to rack and cloud sales.
Yeah.
And part of the problem is they were so quiet and stealthy for so long that when they suddenly put their head out, from the hole, people already were more knowledgeable about the competition and what was going on there.
I think they
also went
defense contracts, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that was always the expectation because of how secretive they had. And it was one of the weird companies where I would only ever meet with like the sales guys, not like the marketing guys. So yeah, it was a little bit weird like that. And they went through a rebrand earlier this year, which I didn't particularly like, and neither did the people I spoke to. But apparently, it went down like a storm internally. And the chairman of Samba Nova is a guy called Lip-Bu Tan, who currently sits as the CEO of Intel.
Yeah.
So was it this morning? Last night?
It was last night.
The news went around that Intel and Samba Nova have signed a term sheet,
which is a non-binding agreement,
to explore avenues to acquisition. There are many things here.
So
that,
I asked Patrick Kennedy, who in a previous life used to be an M&A consultant at PwC, Price
Waterhouse-Cooper.
Yep. And I asked, is the conflict of interest, right? What level is there? Can you disclose that away? And he's like, you can. Like it's public enough that the conflict of interest can be disclosed away, so to speak.
So a bunch of people are looking at it from, Lip-Bu's involved in both.
Yeah.
Therefore, he's going to be looking for a good return for the business he's
Because
invested.
Walden also invested. Walden
Yes.
being Lip-Butan's investment group.
Yes. I looked at it from the Intel perspective, right? Intel is a company going through a lot of change right now, where realistically they need to be spending money on foundry, not on acquisition.
I would say foundry and core product.
It's they already have an AI group,
Yeah.
the Habana team, which is behind and not generating much revenue. There is something to be said about Intel just having an AI product. There is something also to be said about acquiring an AI product in the business that is not being seen as highly successful and not generating enough revenue. There's also how much money would it be if they acquired? So like I say, they've raised $1 billion, right? For me, unless it is really, really cheap, and I'm talking like 200 mil, it's not worth the capital investment for Intel because Intel's got so many other things going on. Also, the Habana team, right? Intel's AI strategy right now is Gaudi 3 exists. Crescent Island, which is their XE3 based chip, is coming end of Q2 with 160 gigs of LP DDR5.
They're sampling in H226.
Okay, so it'll be taped out by end of Q2.
So it's a Q5 product.
But that's designed more for like data center inference type, and essentially is we're reusing a chip, and we're going to stick it in here, which is fine. Spend the most of 2026 focusing on software, and then come 27, let's start talking about Jaguar Shores, which is meant to be their next AI product. To suddenly come in and say, hey, we now have Cerulean, the SN40L, highly disrupts that roadmap.
Yeah.
And not in a good way.
It's also just not like...
Unless it's really cheap.
It's also just not the right technology.
Well, for Intel.
Yeah,
might be for somebody else.
For Intel.
Because it's not part of the one API.
No, and CTRA are...
I don't have any problems with like the CGRA side of things. I just think from the...
Well, no. It doesn't fit Intel's modus operandi, right? For what?
Neither did Movidius.
Well, no, Movidius at least made sense because they were looking into integrating it into the laptop. But you're not going to integrate a CGRA into a mobile device.
No.
Right? This is very much a data center oriented product.
Yeah, you're not going to stick it next. You're not going to put it in you're not going to put the IP in a Xeon
and in terms of like a programmable device, as far as I'm aware, like the way that you would program a CGRA is quite different to like a GPU.
No, kinda. They did a big hot chips presentation on their architecture.
I know, but it's more, can they integrate that into one API?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, there is that.
Right.
So for me, for many reasons, this doesn't make sense. Not just Lip-Bu at the top of both, but also some of the financials, some of the architecture. As I understand it, neither company has made any comment. Externally, so this could be somebody blowing smoke up for all of our butts.
We've heard these rumors for a while now.
I know. I had heard that Samba Nova's options were trading at below raise, which is never a good thing. I did see some people saying, yeah, but at the last fundraise, Series D or whatever, they were valued at $5 billion. It doesn't make sense to me unless they're really cheap. And you could say, well, they could buy them and just let them be autonomous. What's the point? Intel's not had a good history of integrating large companies with big mandates.
No.
Smaller companies, sure.
Yeah.
Movidius, IMS Nano, and Mobileye at the time.
Yeah.
right? And that wasn't really integrated, right? It's that sort of thing. So it just doesn't make sense to me. And if I was advising, I would say no. I would say don't bother. Because right now, Intel doesn't have a head of AI.
No, Sachin left.
Sachin left. They don't have a They don't have a CTO. Because Sachin left, and so Lip-Bu has taken both of those positions in the interim while they find people to replace them. It's yeah. They still have a data center head of data center. Kavak Korchian from ARM. He leads data center, but he doesn't lead AI. So there is that. Yeah. It's acquisition time. And before we get onto the topic that you want to,
no, let's go to the Ventana.
Yeah.
So this morning,
another acquisition announcement. And
I guess three's a crowd. So Qualcomm announced that they're going to be acquiring Ventana Micro. Ventana Micro, for those who don't know, is a RISC-V CPU design company. They are designing RISC-V cores. They gave a presentation at Hot Chips 2023.
So if we go to the new events directory, Dom, there should be a bunch of Veyron V3 pictures in a directory called Veyron V3. So none of the V2 stuff, that's old.
Yeah. So, well, I think V2 is actually a good place to start because as far as I understand, V1 never actually taped.
No, that's because it was an engineer's wet dream.
Yeah.
You can probably go back and see the recording of me. I wouldn't say going hard, but showcasing a vital flaw in that design.
Yeah.
In the Hot Chips presentation, that was what, 21?
No, it was 23
for V1.
Yeah, it was 23.
No, I thought it was before
23.
that. Yeah,
it was Hot Chips 23. I remember it because that was my first Hot Chips. I was there in person.
Yeah. It's not that I don't believe you, but I don't believe you. You're right. 23. Yeah. Yeah. So that was Greg Faber. No ads. I don't. Even though I have YouTube Premium on my personal account, on my business account, it's yeah, it's a pain. No, I don't want 1 month free.
No. Perfect.
Yeah. Let's see if I can get that image out. Yeah, anyway, sorry, keep talking.
Yeah, so that is Greg Faber, I believe, formerly of AMD K.
No, I mean talk about Ventana and as I'll bring this picture up.
Probably the person that you are most familiar with that works was a co-founder of Ventana is Greg Faber. He formerly worked at AMD, I believe, on the K7 and K8 microarchitectures, which is quite ironic considering that Veyron V1 looks like a modern version of K7 and K8. So I find that quite funny. He then worked for Applied Micro, which was acquired by Ampere, and then he went off and formed Ventana. So yeah.
So he's had experience of x86.
Yep. ARM
and RISC-V.
Yep.
And so Ventana is a startup, and their goal was to build RISC-V chips, cores, hosts.
Yeah. So basically make
for data center.
Make a 32 core RISC-V chiplet with UCIe connection so that you could just stick it onto, let's say, like an AI accelerator.
Yeah, it's Ventana. I think also had ambition to build an I/O chiplet as well to do that. Yeah, V1 as a design, we didn't think much of it. V2, was talked about, and I pulled up a slide from about Ventana V3, which they never really went public with in a press release sort of way. They just showed it off at RISC-V Summit events with no outreach.
Yeah. Do we know if V2 was ever taped out?
I think V2 was, yeah.
Okay. Has V3 been taped yet?
So there were two versions of V2, one on TSMC N4, one on TSMC N3. Yeah, so these pictures actually come from a Reddit thread like 6 months ago that I saved, because this is like RISC-V Summit Japan. And yeah, talking about performance, and so V2 is RVA 23 compliant. And V3 is meant to be the build on from that.
Yeah.
And yeah, so there's this company. They haven't really been much public after the V1 announcement. I do know that some of the team there were part of the core team that helped bring together ARMS standardization, SBSA.
Okay.
So they were also helping the RISC-V build profiles. Hence, they were quite high up on the RVA 23 stuff. And yeah, so they just randomly got acquired by, now in the motion of being acquired by Qualcomm. Qualcomm, who famously acquired Nuvia several years ago, has their own internal RISC-V infrastructure for some of their stuff, but obviously still a big ARM house, really. And the whole assumption was that Nuvia cores were going to go into enterprise because of the deal that Qualcomm announced a while back with Humane, this sort of $10 billion deal. And the idea was that Qualcomm was going to come back to data center, despite having tried twice with Centric and Falcor. And
so from what I understand, there was the first one was Centric. So they've killed/canceled 3 data center products so far as I know.
Data center CPU products.
Yes. Falcor, which was the first, Centric 2400. There was apparently a follow-up to that, Centric 3600, which we don't know if it taped out, but was in design at the very least. And there are thermal samples, like thermal design packages. We don't know if it's actually silicon there or just like test. Whatever. And then there was the Nuvia server product that apparently was kind of being developed at Qualcomm and then was canceled in order to speed up
the consumer
X1,
side.
X1 Elite.
So the expectation is that this acquisition is to essentially fulfill data center CPU. So that won't be Orion, it will be this.
So what I will say, so just before supercomputing, was the Qualcomm's first architecture day, where they disclosed a lot about the upcoming Snapdragon X2 Elite platform. But what I found really interesting, and Ian, you saw the slide comparisons I made. Orion V3, their new core, from the structure sizes that they talked about, was very, very similar to Orion V1.
Yeah, just in terms of structure.
Yeah, in terms of structure sizes and in terms of like what they were showing, it looked very, very similar.
Yeah.
One of the slides even was almost looked like a.
2 of them were.
One more than the other, but at least 2 of them were near identical
carbon copies.
Yeah. The third one was very, very similar, slightly different, but very, very similar.
Words were almost identical.
Yeah.
But again, coming back to the reason, why would Qualcomm buy Ventana Micro?
More people.
One, acqui-hire.
Yeah.
Opportunities. Is this a personnel or is this an IP play?
Well, it could be both. I mean, think of it from this perspective. Not only are you getting people, but you're getting people that. Because here's the thing: once you're past the decoders in most modern, like it's all the same for the most part. Like, once you're past decoders, like an ARM CPU and x86 CPU, the front end is just essentially a compatibility layer.
A shim.
Yeah, essentially. So you're not
your
only
decoders are shims.
People that are experienced with sort of the back end of a CPU, but they're also familiar with the RISC-V front end.
Yeah,
which is important considering the ARM versus Qualcomm lawsuit. So it could be that Qualcomm is looking into diversification of their portfolio to include RISC-V high performance CPUs.
Yeah, for data center.
Yeah, for data center.
So it's not an acquisition that it's not. We've spoken about some of the acquisitions today that don't make sense. This one isn't one of those. I'm not saying it makes sense 100%, because it kind of came out of left field. But it's one that you can go, oh, actually, yeah, there's some synergy there. But it does mean that perhaps what we thought some of Qualcomm's roadmap was like is not that if this goes through. So, yeah, and also, they're tying with NVLink Fusion and other stuff. So, yeah. I don't think there's too much more to say about that. It's something that,
so on to the topic.
Yep.
So, did you actually watch it?
No.
Okay. So, a couple people in the chat will know what I'm talking about. So, at Supercomputing, there's a whole bunch of companies. One of these companies we talked about quite often on this.
We even said, should we ever make content about them again?
I know.
Tachyon.
Yeah. They keep coming up. So
an EU-based high performance chip design company that is 8 years old now, and about 5 years.
It's even older. It's like 10 years old.
They've had several 2-year delays.
Yeah.
On their silicon as a result. They're technically on their 3rd generation or 4th generation of architecture.
Yeah.
And they're still unwilling to show anything publicly about anything. However, they are willing to talk about how many cores, flops, and how many multiple times they're going to be better than anyone else in the market. And it's proof is in the pudding, and unfortunately, what they've provided is air.
Jay says, "Wait, let me get my popcorn." So, Jared, very helpfully, Jay in chat. So I decided to go to the Tachyon booth, and on record, I got that they are planning on having silicon by H2 27.
Okay.
So 2 years. I have that video. I don't know if I should post it or not.
You were quite aggressive on that video.
Yes, I was. I think rightfully so. Like, it's felt like we've been led on by Tachyon.
And so some of it is, I think, the lady doth protest. You're so used to having so much engagement with some companies.
Yeah.
And when a company doesn't do it, right, even though they're within the right mind to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
And it's because I spoke to the person after, the day after you did all that. And it turns out that she understands what people like you want to see.
Yeah.
But executives say that she can't. And the engineers say that she can't. And she's just been told to deal with it. Not a fun position to be in if you're a marketer. And so as a result, we get everything that happens. However, the news this week on Tachyon.
This is bonkers. So Tachyon has decided to file a trademark lawsuit against Google for the name TPU. I wish I was joking. So Tachyon's processor is called the Tachyon processor unit.
I thought it was a universal processor, Tachyon universal processor.
No. Apparently it's not TUP. It's TPU. This is well.
What was it? So the thing is, they say that they trademarked the name the year before the company even started.
Yeah.
And the year before Google started using it publicly.
So
just the phrase TPU. Could you imagine if somebody has trademarked CPU?
Yeah.
Or GPU?
Yeah.
Or ASIC? Or FPGA?
Now you can trademark, and Google has 2 trademarks with TPU in it: Edge TPU and Google TPU, right? Which is fair enough because it's right. The thing is, you know who else had a copyright for TPU in the computer space?
AMD.
Nope. Asus.
Okay.
And that was valid until it was voided in 2021.
By?
It was invalidated because Asus did not keep up the copyright
the
trademark.
Yeah. Yep.
And it was expired. But here's the thing. Tachyon's first filing was denied because of it in 2015. They didn't actually get the trademark assigned until 2020. 2 years after Google registered the Edge TPU trademark. So
where is this lawsuit filed?
I believe in the District of California.
Okay.
But the thing is, Tachyon has not shipped anything yet.
Yeah.
In terms of that could potentially be called a TPU. Also, they are apparently a class.
WCCF's headline: Google may be forced to change the name of its chips.
No.
Yeah. No, Google's going to change it to GPU. The Google processor.
Yes.
Investors will love it.
Yeah. So no. So they have what's known as a Class 45 IP trademark, which is for IP licensing. The thing is, Google does not license its IP, except in the case of what's called the Coral NPU. But that does not say TPU. That is the Coral NPU, which they announced, I think, a month or 2 ago. They open sourced the RTL.
That's different to the Coral USB stick.
Yep.
The Coral NPU is the first iteration of that is being done with Synaptics because
yes.
I had a meeting with the guy.
Yep. Yeah. But one, that's called the Coral NPU, and 2, Google filed the trademark for Edge TPU 2 years before Tachyon got were awarded their trademark. So let's just say I don't think that Google's gonna have to change the name of the TPU.
There is some strong peyote somewhere.
So what I said on Twitter is this feels like a very weird buyout strategy.
Oh, let's sue Google enough so that they buy us.
Yeah, because it's cheaper to buy us than to continue the lawsuit.
To deal with the But they just raised. Oh, that's what the money raised.
The money was released. Oh, jeez.
George, this is how the world works.
It's too funny.
Yeah. This isn't patent trolling. This is
Trademark trolling.
this is the as Stone says, if you can't produce products, just sue.
Geez, that
Are you running out of power now?
yeah. My battery is lower than I thought it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot to put.
Yeah.
Um.
So yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's annoyingly part of me kind of hoped that we'd hear nothing from Tachyon until second half of 27.
Yeah.
Not 17 days later after supercomputing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Geez.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. I was going to believe this until I saw the source. Seagate achieves a whopping 6.9 terabyte storage capacity per platter in its lab. And somebody's done the maths on this and apparently says that 69 terabyte hard drives could now be physically physically possible. Guys, when somebody's got areal density in the lab, that's different to high volume production.
Yeah.
That's like saying, did you know that Intel has actually showcased 12 gigahertz transistors? 12 gigahertz CPUs coming to you soon.
I think
what this news.
I think we've seen over 100 gigahertz transistors in an oscillator ring.
Well, and terahertz for radio waves. Tom's hardware.
Future strikes again.
No, this is somebody's Assuming nothing changes, Seagate could have petabyte-sized hard drives before 2040. Yeah, and my house is going to be worth 1.2 trillion. No. What this is yesterday I wasn't married. Today I'm married. By 2030, I'll have 1 trillion brides. You know, it's that line. Yeah, that is. Sorry, I'm just going through some of our tech boxers notes, and that's just really bad. Yeah, there's a few things here. The EU is redirecting the funds that would have gone to Intel Germany.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's being delayed. Is it cancelled? Delayed?
Cancelled.
It got fully cancelled, didn't it? Yeah. We're a bit, it's if you follow my Substack, Nvidia announced a $2 billion deal with Synopsys, equity deal.
Do we want to talk about AWS?
AWS had their event, reInvent, showcased their new chip Trainium3, which apparently is really good for inference.
Then why is it not part of the inference? AWS, what are you doing? You have an inference line. It's called Inferentia.
I think so. You know how inference chips? There's like two types. There's the let's network 1 million of these together, and the this works on its own.
Yeah.
Inferentia is more the this works on its own.
I mean, so does this. So would this?
No, this would, but it also can be networked together for agentic flow. Yeah. And annoyingly, this got announced, last week? And I posted the data center training video of the AI hardware show, which include Trainium2. And okay, so broad strokes news, AI hardware show.
Already
season 2.
Out of date.
We started last week publishing those. Unfortunately, we recorded them a few weeks ago, which means yes, some of them are out of date already. We already went, back in the studio to do some corrections, like the Revos acquisition.
Yeah,
we didn't cover that in here, but Revos got acquired by Meta for $2 billion. I'd heard that apparently Intel had made a bid for that. Sorry. Facebook and Intel made a bid. And when Facebook heard, they just said, well, okay, here's some more. So yeah, there's that. So AI hardware show, if you're not familiar, a couple of years ago, Sally from E Times and I did a small web series where we covered about 60 to 70 AI companies, about 6 a week. And each week we had a news show where it was more scripted and a podcast that was more this sort of thing. And so we decided to run it again, season 2. We're doing 15 weeks, over 100 companies. And this year, each week has a theme. So first week was IPOs and exits, which annoyingly, so this week is data center training. Next week is CPUs, which includes Ventana Micro.
You have to rework that.
I don't think I will because it's already recorded, damn it, and edited. So yeah, this is so we've got 15 weeks I think that we're going to do this. So it's going to go well into 2026. We've got episode on Korea, we've got episode on wafer scale and WTF, 2 episodes on data center inference, low power, ultra low power, analog, optical compute, optical networking. It's one of those things that ideally you would like to record every week and publish, but it takes so long to edit and to do the research. You'd need a team to do it, and we have some of the episodes are sponsored, which does help pay for the production, but not to the level where we could do it week in, week out, plus travel, right? So it's that. But yeah, no, we do have the Trainium 2 is this week, and so we don't talk about the Trainium 3. But Trainium 3, so TSMC 3 nanometer, lots of HBM3E.
Actually, I'm going to reference my my hand notes because, as many people know, I much prefer written notes than. Oh, this is not the right notebook. Oh well.
Okay.
Well, then I guess I'm going to have to remember this off the top of my head. So if I do make mistakes, I do apologize. There are 144 chips in a Trainium 3 Ultra server, although only 72 packages. So it's 2 chips per package, kind of like MI250X.
So they're doing Jensen math.
Yeah, basically. Jensen math strikes again. Let me see if I can do the
144 gigs of HBM3.
Yep. 104. Yep. And then it's 4.9 terabytes per second of memory bandwidth. For one chip, it is about 2.5 FP8 petaflops for one of the chips. So 5 petaflops of FP8 per package. It supports FP32, BF16, FP16, MXFP8, and MXFP4. Trainium 3 is being quoted as about 4.5 times better compute performance, 4 times better energy efficiency, and 4 times more memory bandwidth compared to Trainium 2. It also has a new all-to-all mesh. Talk about this one in a second. Called Neuron V1, which according to AWS, the new Neuron switch has twice the interchip bandwidth as the old switch, and the fabric cuts the chip-to-chip latency to just under 10 nanoseconds. They also tease Trainium 4, which is going to have both NVLink Fusion and UA Link.
Different versions.
Yep.
Yeah. So which means we're going to go into an era of chips that can support multiple standards based on how you want it deployed and packaged.
So,
chiplets, yay!
Do you know what fabric AWS uses for the Neuron link?
So they have the Elastic Fabric.
Nope.
No. I mean, internally
Yeah.
they have the Elastic Fabric architecture, EFA,
Mhm.
which I think is on V3. They also have Nitro, which,
Mm,
if I remember correctly, Nitro was what enabled them to have 3 hosts per network port.
so Nitro is the DPU.
Well, so it's evolved over the years, but yeah.
So no, what Trainium3 uses for its interconnect is PCIe.
Like Giga IO.
Mm-hmm. It's PCIe. It's not.
Okay.
And
So it's not Ethernet over PCIe or PCIe over Ethernet.
No, it as far as I know, it's just PCIe.
So it's not a coherent interconnect.
So, well, you can argue that PCIe is coherent because it does technically support page faults.
Nobody uses it that way, though.
No, although they could, because this is custom, so they could support that. But yeah, so I'm trying to find the slide. And I can't
talk about this all-to-all though.
Yeah, so well, it is technically an all-to-all, but it's not single hop all-to-all, from what I understand. There kind of has to be 2 hops.
There's a crossbar.
Yeah. So
there's a link in here that says Juniper.
Yes. So
they're using a Juniper PCIe switch essentially as networking.
I believe so. Yes.
Okay.
So
this
was one of the slides that was shown, and
yeah. Go back to Juniper did a hot chips presentation
a long time ago. About it was Express 4.
Well, the most recent one is this technology.
Really?
Yep. Express 5, yeah. Hot chips 34.
Yeah, this is just an Ethernet switch.
No, with the or maybe it was the one before this. But yeah, no, they've gone through how their networking works, how their custom networking works to deal with 144 all-to-all. So when you say it's multiple hops, it's not. It's just one hop through a crossbar.
As far as I know, no, it's technically 2 hop. I don't fully understand it. To be blunt, networking's a bit
right. Okay, so the way to think about it is, imagine in your 8-way all-to-all box, right? It means each GPU in there has to have 7 links minimum, right? 1 to each of the other chips. So if, just again throwing numbers here, I mean, if each one of those is 1 terabyte a second, right? You have a total of 7 terabytes of SERDES, right? But if you've got 2 chips that need to talk to each other a lot, your peak is still 1.
Yeah.
You can't use the other 6.
No.
If you put a crossbar in the middle,
although technically you can.
Yeah, no, but if you go extended round and right, and it just introduces more asynchronous latency. Whereas if you have a crossbar, right, all your 7 terabytes a second go to the crossbar.
Well, that's just a switch.
Exactly. All your 7 terabytes from the chip you need to speak to goes into the crossbar, and all the 7 terabytes from every other chip go into the crossbar. That means that if you need to do a lot more transactions to one chip, you can have a peak of 7 terabytes a second.
Yeah.
Not 1.
Yeah.
So this concept is you only have 1 link outside your chip that has all your bandwidth in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like NVLink.
Well, it's
or similar to, like
not really, because that's just multi-switch, multi-tenant.
No, I meant the original and
Oh,
NVLink.
maybe, yeah. Yeah.
That was a basically switch between eight GPUs.
Yeah, it allows you to be more efficient with the SERDES you have on your chip.
Yeah.
Because if you only have 1 terabyte, as long as you can manage the congestion at the switch level, because otherwise you could just rebuild your ASIC with only 1 terabyte per second of bandwidth and get the same performance. Yeah. Or what have you. So a number of things there. So, but yeah, that's just Trainium.
Yeah.
Coming.
Oh, and then they talked about Graviton 5, kind of, sort of, not really.
The new CPU.
Yeah, so they talked about the new CPU, kind of, sort of, not really.
Twice as many cores.
Yeah, so they did at the event. They basically just said Graviton 5 and said basically nothing else. But later on, they did release a video.
Okay, I haven't seen that one. I know it exists.
That talk more about it. So we know that it's 192 Neoverse V3 cores, each with, if I remember correctly, 2 megabytes of L2, 192 megabytes of L3, 12 channels of DDR 8800.
DDR5, yeah.
Yep.
And latency.
Hold on. And 8 controllers of PCIe Gen 6. We suspect that this is a by 8, so it's 8 times 8, so 64 lanes.
Yeah.
Of PCIe 6 per chip.
Normally people think about PCIe root controllers as a by 16 native. These are by 8 native. So but yes, according to AWS, the latency to memory is below 100 nanoseconds, which is for a data center chip actually really impressive. However, this does come at the cost of, it looks like they're forcing what's known as NUMA mode 2. So you essentially split the chip into 2 halves. It's also known as SNC2 or NPS2. But we also expect those dual chiplet.
Yes.
2 CPU
so,
chiplets. Well,
not just that. Putting 192 V3 cores plus 384 megs of L2 and 192 megs of L3, and all of the SERDES
needed for the DDR.
Chiplets are almost certainly involved. They did not say if they are or not.
But let's say Graviton 4 is 1 core chiplet.
Yes.
And they use multiple dies for the PCIe and the I/O.
Yes.
Right. The image they gave of Graviton 5 on the web page
was the same chip.
Yeah. And what really annoyed me is that the analysts that were invited to the event to cover it, none of them noticed.
Not true. Some people did notice, but they weren't given an answer.
All the ones that I see day to day at events like this, they posted their stuff, but without any critical analysis of the picture.
Yeah,
and that really annoyed me.
Yeah,
it's like you're saying that this is that, but it's not.
It's not. Yeah,
and you're not saying that. It really annoyed me because it's like, do you not know? It's one thing to know what you're talking about. It's another thing to actually know what you're physically talking about. And it's clear that some of these people don't.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to gatekeep here. I'm just talking about you're using a picture as a representative sample. It'd be me like saying, car, brand new car, more torques, more horsepowers. Picture of a Model T.
Okay.
It's you know, picture of a Nissan Sunny. The most torques.
No, Tobias did actually go. Yeah, Tobias did go into it. He didn't post any pictures, but
yeah. Was Tobias on? Tobias
was there.
Tobias was our friend from the register.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. He was there.
Yeah, he was there.
So the analysts didn't.
Yeah.
The press clearly did. God damn it, my peoples. So it's. I don't think we have much more to talk
No,
about.
I think we managed to cover it all.
There's been a lot going on.
Yeah.
And it hasn't ended. I know for both of us, this is our last travel of the year.
Yeah.
However, lots of stuff still needs to happen, and CES
is right after.
Yep, January 5th in Las Vegas.
Yep. Good old Sin City.
Okay, so some previews for CES. Are you looking forward to anything?
So, I am wondering what AMD is going to be talking about, because we know that Lisa Su is giving the keynote.
Mm-hmm.
There are
the
many
official
keynotes
keynote
at CES, but this is the opening of CES keynote.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering what she is going to be announcing there.
Mm-hmm. Maybe
we expect there to be Panther Lake.
So on the AMD side, I wonder if they've got were there physical mock-ups of Helios at Advancing AI?
No. So the two mock-ups that we've seen were at OCP.
Okay, so they had one at OCP.
Yeah, well, they had the Helios at OCP and the Summit.
Okay.
Sorry, Meta had their version.
Yeah.
Fun fact: if you actually go through the HP press releases, HPE, I believe, is the OEM for the base Helios rack.
Huh.
And they're using Tomahawk 6 switches.
Okay.
12 of them.
Okay. Oh, for Infinity Fabric over Ethernet.
UA link over Ethernet, but yes, effectively.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So I've got a feeling that might be a bit more exposure of Helios to the world.
Yeah, but also
on big stage. From a product perspective, no, I don't know what to expect.
I'm gonna do a little bit of speculation here. I suspect that there may be some announcement of a PCIe version of MI400.
Well, you might get your 430 specs.
Maybe. But unless they're going to talk about Venice, which I don't know if is super likely.
Maybe some headline stuff. They've spoken a little bit about Ace, haven't they? Ace.
So Ace,
or is that a Zen 7 thing?
That's a Zen 7 thing.
Okay.
Zen 6. I have a little bit of speculation, which is that they've made the two. So Zen has 2 FMA units and 2 FAD units, based on what was shown at the investor day. That they've now made those 2 FADs into FMA units, so you now have 4 FMA units. But other than that, we don't really know, and that's purely speculating based off a single slide. So I could be completely wrong.
I've got a I think I've got a briefing and a couple of on-site roundtables scheduled with execs. But it seems more like a more go-to-market than announcement. So I don't know.
Yeah. But it feels weird for Lisa to be having the keynote without having something big.
I think it's a case of, well, I mean, Krasanich did it every time with drones. I'm not saying this is that, but the importance of machine learning and AI is such that you got to continually be in the limelight regardless, because you got to make sure that everybody knows at what stage you're at, and no matter how many times you say, our roadmap to rack scale, or completion of acquisitions, or software strategy, that all has to take place,
iterated over and over and over.
And then we have Intel
Panther Lake,
because that's obviously going to due out in products Q1.
And then do you think that we're going to see more news from Qualcomm about laptops?
I've got a couple of Qualcomm meetings on my calendar already for CES about compute, but they don't have they don't have a keynote or a presentation or anything. So
okay, then it could just be stuff at partners.
Yeah,
booths.
it's starting to show off their first X2 Elite designs.
Yeah. And then sort of the elephant in that room is Nvidia with the N1X chip that's been rumored for laptops.
I have a distinct feeling that that might be mothballed
I wouldn't be surprised
because of the issues they've had with Spark.
in the display controller. So, fun fact: I have 2 Sparks at home.
I need to follow up with Asus. They said they were going to send me one.
Well, thanks to Dell, they sent me 2. So look forward to that. Some interesting CPU side benchmarks actually. The memory bandwidth on the CPU side is very strange. It's very weird.
As in low or inconsistent?
So okay. So
upcoming article on chips and cheese.
Yeah. No, I did this testing not on the Dells. This was actually on Yocto's machine in chat. So thank you for that access. But this is where I first found it out. So this chip can do 273 gigabytes per second of memory bandwidth. How much memory bandwidth do you think the CPU has when running all 20 cores?
Half.
It's about 115, give or take.
Okay.
If I run a memory bandwidth test with a shared array, not private, shared, although you do see this with the private, just not as extreme, with just the the X925 cores, how much bandwidth do you think you get?
All of it.
No, you get about 140.
Okay.
So
contention issues on the internet.
Hold on. What gets even better is if you just
you're not wearing glasses. It's really weird.
If I just run on the A725s, so as a reminder, the cluster layout is 5 X cores and 5 A cores per cluster, and there's 2 clusters. If you run the A725s, how much bandwidth do you think you get?
You want to tell me something like 160?
About 170. Yeah, about 170.
Can you change the frequency of the cores?
I think there might be a Linux command to do that. I'm not positive.
Slow them down
and see
if your memory bandwidth increases.
Oh, that would be funny. Speaking of,
it wouldn't be a power limitation if you're just doing stream.
It shouldn't be.
Or localized power consumption.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. No, but what's even funnier is the cluster, like the per cluster bandwidth. How much bandwidth do you think cluster 0 gets when you're running all
150?
60.
160.
No, 60. 60.
Right.
Cluster 1, how much bandwidth do you think you get?
160.
83.
So when you're the minute the X4 cores come in.
Yeah, the X925s. They
925.
Yeah, they sort of just like, it feels very much like the memory that on the fabric that there's a ton of memory contention.
So what you want is you want all your memory requests come through the A725s.
Yes.
And you need all your compute.
Yeah,
it's
weird. And then what's even weirder is so on the Hot Chips presentations, they were saying that each cluster has 16 megabytes of L3. If you look at the LS Topo, right, and you look at the memory bandwidth, the cache bandwidth, one of the clusters has 16 megabytes, and the other only looks like 8. It's very weird. I don't get it.
Have you done quad-core latency yet?
Yes, it's if I remember correctly, it's about
No. But is it consistent?
I don't remember.
I wonder.
You know what? Let's see. I did open it up to the universe. So let's do this live if that's okay with you.
Screw it, we're doing it live.
Yeah, basically. Nope.
I need to find out where my Asus one is.
Let me
Oh yeah, last email was sent November 19th and no response.
Okay. Okay, so that's all the information. It's Badoop. Yes, so the IP is redacted, and redacted.
And then you're going to tell me, it's not actually online right now.
Well, let's see. It should be. Hey, okay. It is in fact online. Let's see. What did I? So Ian.
Core, yeah.
Yeah. So LS. Nope. I need CD. Do LS CD.
What is this language you're speaking of? Linux.
Yes.
Did you watch the Torvalds Sebastian collab?
No.
That was pretty funny.
I didn't. I should.
You should.
So this test
is it running now?
Yeah, it is running now. So this test, now mind you, you divide it in two because it's the parallel test. But
that seems very slow. Our non-tech test was quicker.
Yeah, because I haven't reduced the iterations. I'm just trying to see for.
Yeah.
So it's looking like within a cluster, it's anywhere from approximately 85 nanoseconds to about 100-ish, and then to the other cluster, it looks like it's about 220, 230.
Okay. But yeah, it's going to take a while to do the full test, but it's
yeah.
My issue there is consistency.
Yes.
If it's inconsistent,
yeah.
So, and then I guess doing a loaded latency test is problematic.
I mean, I don't know,
because you have such inconsistent memory bandwidth depending on the cores you load. It would depend on the order that you load them.
Oh, you know what? Actually, we can do do simultaneous testing.
No, don't worry. I'm not that bothered. I'm not that bothered.
Well, now you brought me interested.
Well, in that case, let's close up the stream because we're going for almost 2:45 here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
To be fair, this has not felt like a super long.
I do need another beverage. It's because there's been lots of little mini topics.
Yeah. Fair.
So cool.
Thanks. I hate it, says Jay.
So unless anybody has some last
230 nanoseconds, Joshua.
And Jay says yes. May Santa bring us all dims.
Yeah.
Good tidings we dim to you and your king. I'm sure AI can come up with a bunch of stuff. We're going to see if we can. I'm going to see if I can get some more t-shirt and cap designs up on the Tech Potato store by Christmas. And try to find some for that. Yeah.
I really should do a merch store, but I keep forgetting.
Time over Christmas.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going anywhere for Christmas, to be honest, so.
Yep. Okay, cool.
Yep.
If that's the case, we'll end it there. It's George and I will plan to do at least one, if not two, between now and CES. And then at CES, we'll see what we can do.
I don't think I'm going to be bogged down in too many meetings.
Well, I'll be at the Venetian, so I'm
Yeah.
pretty easy to get to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. And it's I don't know, Bay Area. It's weird. The more you pay for a hotel, the slower the internet.
Yeah. It's. I don't know why.
Yeah. So no, we'll plan. We'll plan. So that's it for everyone. That's it for us today. Just lots going on, and it's good to at least delineate a bunch of stuff in my mind. Yeah. Thank you all for watching. If you like George's stuff, go on, head on over to Chips and Cheese. Obviously with Tech Potato, you know where I am. We'll catch you on the next one.
Have a good one, folks.
If you like this content, there are multiple ways to support the channel. You can like and subscribe this video, and many thanks for doing so. There's also Patreon, which gives you access to our Discord. There's a merchandise store and a newsletter, links in the description. For all of you who do contribute, thank you. You are keeping me well fed.